Hey guys, this is Jam of JamOnline.ph and we got here the latest smartphone from Honor, the Honor 90. So this is the latest mid-range smartphone from the company and it packs a really interesting features including a 200 megapixel main camera, a Snapdragon 7 Gen 1 processor, and of course a large memory which is a 12 gigs plus 512. So, what are we waiting for? Time to unbox this smartphone. And look at that, this is the Honor 90 and I love how it looks. So there's the texture here at the back, but it's really glossy at the back and I believe this one is made up of glass, but the overall feel of the Honor 90 is quite a premium. But of course, we're gonna talk about that later. We got here the jelly case, the USB-A to Type-C cable, and of course the 66 watts Honor Supercharge. Now that you've seen what's inside the box, now let's talk about the Honor 90. So, we've been using the Honor 90 for a few days now, and as you can see in here, the design at the back, well, it does look like other smartphones. We got here the two circular camera modules at the back, and of course, a sleek and sexy design. This is a trademark also of Honor smartphones, in where we could get a really sleek and sexy design on their smartphones. So for the display, we got here the 6.7-inch quad curve floating display in here, along with the selfie camera over here. And one of the things that Honor is boasting about the Honor 90 is that this smartphone packs a really good display, as this one comes with a flicker-free viewing. Because this smartphone comes with a 3840 Hz PWM dimming, which means that, again, flicker-free viewing, which means that less strain for your eyes, which also means that you could view or you could have an enjoyable and more comfortable experience with the display of the smartphone. It's crisp, it's beautiful, it's vivid, and the best part about it is that it comes with HDR10+ and of course a 120 Hz refresh rate. Now at the back, again, the smartphone is really ergonomic and really sexy. It's thin, it's sexy, and it's also slick. It's very comfortable to hold on to even without the case of the smartphone, and I love the curves and I love how thin the smartphone is. While we're having some troubles focusing on the back of the smartphone because of its glossy texture, I do love how they design the back of the smartphone. I mean, they got some textures in here. Some people might not like it, but I do like it. And of course, the circular camera modules just look fine to me. And below the smartphone is where we can find the USB Type-C port and supports the 66 watts Honor Supercharge. While for the battery, the smartphone comes with a 5,000 mAh of battery, which is pretty long enough and it can last a day of usage. In my usage, I was pretty happy with the results that I got with the smartphone. And when it comes to performance, this smartphone comes with a Snapdragon 7 Gen 1 processor along with 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of internal storage. And if you ask me, the Snapdragon 7 Gen 1 might not be the latest Snapdragon 7 processor out there in the market, but it does perform really well when it comes to games and also when it comes to applications. But of course, when it comes to games, you have to set your expectations at the mid-range level, as this one is a mid-range processor, so it doesn't belong in the Snapdragon 8 series when it comes to the performance. You can play the latest games such as Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, even Farlight 84 at the mid-zoom settings on the smartphone. And of course, it would be just fine as we got here a pretty good performance and even pretty good thermals. But what I like about it is that the smartphone comes with a 512 gigs of internal storage. And of course, there's the 12 gigs of RAM as well, which is kinda big compared to other smartphones at its price range. Having a 512 gigs of internal storage is actually advantageous for most people, as the games and applications are now getting bigger, and of course we're now recording videos at 4K. And speaking of 4K, the Honor 90 can record 4K videos at 30 frames per second on both the rear and the front camera of the smartphone. And speaking of camera, the smartphone does come with a pretty interesting camera, as we got here a 200 megapixel main camera and also 12 megapixel ultra wide and macro camera, and then there's the 2 megapixel depth camera as well. And for the selfie camera, we got here the 50 megapixel selfie camera. And if you ask me about the quality of the smartphone, we've been using the smartphone for quite a while, and we've noticed that there's really a post-processing that was being done here with the smartphone, and Actually, some of the shots that I got were a lot better after the post-processing, but sometimes the contrast is just too over-processed for me. But overall, for mid-range smartphone, I'm just happy with the shots that I got here with the Honor 90. So I guess that's it for our first impressions of the Honor 90. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and be sure to click that subscribe button along with that bell button to get notified of our latest videos here in my YouTube channel. So once again, I am JamOnline.ph. Thank you for watching and see you guys again in my next video.